So this is an example of what's called a mixture problem. This one happens to be about money, but they show up quite a bit in algebra, in intermediate algebra, pre-calculus. So you're mixing two different accounts together, which means we need two variables. So I could say let x be the amount of money in the 4.8% account, and then let y be the amount of money that was put into the other bank account that paid 3%. And you could write out that whole sentence like that, or you could abbreviate it like this, but you should write down what the x and y stand for. Now, because we're going to have both x and y, that means we need two equations. One is that he had a total of $1,200 in the two accounts. That means if you add these two up before he ever got interest, that's $1,200. So there's one equation. X plus y equals $1,200. Now the other equation is going to have to come from the interest. So there is the 4.8% account. To find out how much interest you actually make, you multiply by 0.048, so you have to move the decimal 2 places to the left. 0.048 x. So this is going to tell you how much money he actually made off that account. Plus, the other one is 3%. So move the decimal from here over by 2, and that's going to be 0.03. That's for the y account. And then, in interest, it was a total of $50.45. So here's our two equations. We can then go ahead and keep the decimals, or on the bottom equation you could get rid of the decimals. Because of this one, we would need to multiply by 1,000. To move the decimal place over by 3, we need to multiply by 1,000. So if I want to get rid of decimals, multiply all terms by 1,000. This one would be 48x. This one you would have to move the decimal place over by 3. So to the right by 3 means there, boom, boom, is actually going to be 30y. This one, if you move it over by 3, it's going to go 1, 2, and then an extra 1, which means we need a 0 at the end. So 50,045 with a 0 at the end. Okay, now with two equations and two variables, we could use substitution or elimination method. I'm going to use the substitution method. What I do is go over here and solve for y. So all I have to do is take the x, subtract it from both sides. It's going to say y equals 1,200, and then subtract x. Then what you do is you take that thing, which we just found out y equals, and we plug it in for that y right there. So we'll still have the 48x plus 30, and now instead of the letter y, we put what y is equal to, which is 1,200 minus x. All right, just a few more steps. We need to use the distributive property right here. So 48x can stay there, plus this one, you can just say, well, 3 times 12 is 36, and then there would be 1, 2, 3 zeros after that. And then minus 30x. And then combine like terms. So if you are watching this review in order to take the AccuPlacer test at Hartnell, the AccuPlacer test will at times let you use a calculator. It will pop up on your screen. You can use a calculator, not for all problems, but sometimes. So for like this, they probably would pop up the little calculator. But let's see, I don't think we even need it, because this is going to be, that's a 0, that's a 5, that's a 4, and then a 50 minus a 36 is a 14. And then on the other side, that would be 48x minus 30x is 18x. And then this is a place where they'd probably let you use a calculator, because now I need to divide both sides. Divide both sides by 18. So x is equal to 802.78. Because we're talking about money, it should be rounded to 2 decimal places. Now, if you go back to this equation where we solve for y, just plug in what we got for x. Y is going to be 1200 minus 802.78. So that's going to be close to $400. $397.22. And then finally, I just label my answers. X is the 4.8%, so at 4.8%. And the Y is the one at 3%. Good job, Bob.